My God, what is happening to me?
Well, that was a shambler. We fought off the shambler the last time. Now this is the symbol of Cthulhu that we saw in Occultist. They have these robes with that symbol that's like, it almost looks metallic on the chest. And then they had this badass mask. It's one of the coolest masks I've seen. It's like a wooden mask and brown with this white kind of cephalopod on it, basically. It's very, very cool. They've done a very good job with the art style for the Occultists. And now I'm losing my shit. Okay, so we have different symbols. We have the symbol of Cthulhu, the symbol of Cthulhu, but then we have two other symbols. That one there and that one there. There's got to be a reason for it. So maybe we're blocked off from that. A lamp, a lighter, Yeah, for some reason it won't let me switch to the lighter. But then again, we're not quite in the real world, potentially. Okay, let's just sit on the toilet for a second and think about this. So, they're spider crabs. They're creatures. They're not... Excuse me, they're not monsters. See, I scared myself, now I have the fucking hiccups. Excuse me? Hello? I mean, the singing's actually kind of nice in a fucked up way, but hello? I feel like we're in The Shining. Hello? Okay, I'm just gonna keep walking. So there's an image of him now. As if it was like predicted, basically, with the occultists. Just toward the end there with the doctor when he barges into the room, I think. Ooh, now the painting adjusted and he's looking back. But then we know that these paintings, at least that were by Sarah Hawkins, have some kind of life to them.
Bradley. Sarah is still in danger as long as the cult is active.
That's a good point.
We need to see this through, otherwise Marie's death will have been in vain.
That's a good point too.
You're a voice of reason, Pierce. As always.
Yeah, psychology. Bring it in. Come on, hug time. Hug time. Let's hug it out. Come on. Whoop, too low. Come on, let's hug it out. Come on. Come on. What's up? No? Alright, well, I'd pat you on the back, but I don't have any hands. I don't have any feet either. I mean, look at that. So, there is that. Okay. Well, I'll talk to you later, Brad. Lee. Bang. Psychology for the win. Not sure. I know it's on PS4. Oh, okay. Cool, cool, cool. I can dig around on the PS4 then. It's been a bit since I've cracked it open, you know, turned it on, but...
Mr. Pierce, we were waiting for you.
Not creepy at all.
Sarah doesn't have much time.
What are you doing here?
Did you think I would let you confront the occult without supervision?
This is too dangerous for a bookworm like you.
Algernon, I need to talk to Mr. Pierce.
Very well, Sarah. I will be in Charles Hawkins' office.
You didn't have to say his last name. I think if you said Charles, we would have known. So, by the way, I do want to say, now this version was sent to us for free, and it did say that there was a known issue, at least with movement using WASP. Now, it seems to work fine for me. I have noticed some weird things with the animations, and, you know, certain things like, for instance, her hands going through her dress, like little elements like that, which are kind of like, meh. Sometimes fabrics, like on dresses and stuff, will spaz out and jump up and come back down. Seems to be some like conflicting code hitting one another pretty much. I I mean, there's certain elements that are beautiful, right? You can see like the dust particles in the air and stuff. The sunlight, like the lighting in the game is really nice. But yes, certain animations and facial expressions and lips don't always fit correctly. So I don't know if that's part of the version of this game of what I have, or if it comes in the final. So that's just something just to kind of keep aware of too when thinking about like diving into this game, for example.
You seem different.
Yes. When I woke up this morning, my mind was sharper. Cleaner. I can still hear the voice calling me. It is so strong. So ancient. Enticing. Dangerous.
What are you, a
I
thesaurus?
may never be able to escape his grip, but for now, I can keep it at bay. I know what I owe you, Mr. Pierce. But I can't come back to Boston with you.
There's a cult on Darkwater. Charles Hawkins is dead. It's because of the Wanderer. You and Drake are up to something. You feel guilty.
I saw everything. The tunnels under your house, the rituals, the secret society. I must get you out of its reach.
I know how dangerous they can be to me. But first, there's the Wanderer. I must find it.
That was a
and
weird
kill it.
robotic move.
I am the only one who can end its slaughter.
No. No, you will come with me to Boston.
I owe you no obedience.
This isn't about what you want or don't want to do. You would risk destroying the world just because you can't face the consequences of your actions.
I am willing to atone for my sins.
No. You're just trying to erase all proof of the mistakes you've made.
I know what I have done. I will not rest until the creature is sent back to its dimension.
There must be a way to fight it. So we all die. Okay. Alright, let's find a way to fight it.
You've recovered from yesterday's condition. That must mean you can fight it. We must find something that will
His
stop
tone
you
changed
from
so
relapsing.
quickly.
Algernon knows of a way to protect me. Help him find what he seeks, and we may all survive this battle.
All right. I'll help you.
How the hell did he change so quickly? He was like, no, you're coming with me. Wow, you seem much better and much more acute this morning. Ha! That's great. All right, how do we fight this? Let's work together. Ha ha! So weird. Okay. What's my statue? Hello, statue? Okay, not it. Not it. That's a lamp. Okay, that's not it. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Wait a minute. So we're looking for a necklace that has the Elder sign on it. That will help protect us so we can kill a creature. Sounds like a blast, right? How hard can that be? Find the amulet. Secondary object, find the bust. Bust it out. 'Cause baby, you got it. You got what I need. So that my quest can succeed. This is pretty funny, to be honest. Just so you know, it's actually pretty goddamn funny. Okay.
Was Sarah Hawkins telling the truth?
Ah, okay.
What kind of ritual was she preparing?
Was she actually trying to... Oh, there's the old bastard. Was she actually trying to get rid of the being, or something more?
Was the painting of the Shambler displayed here?
Oh, fuck. Why did I do that? Why did I read that thing?
Mrs. Hawkins never told me why she was in possession of the Necronomicon.
So she created the Shambler painting. She had the Necronomicon.
How did she survive her encounter with the Shambler?
Oh, Jesus.
Knowing Mrs. Hawkins, I bet she was willing to fight.
Here's my fist, Shambler. I'm gonna give you a good punching to the face. I mean, whatever that face looks like, I mean, there's not much there, to be honest. Mostly just a mouth, but I'm gonna punch it. Ooh, I'm gonna punch it so hard. Take a photo.
Charles Hawkins was ready to do anything to protect his wife.
Oh, and he broke in. Oh shit, he's like, no! Back away, demon! So maybe that's why she got rid of the painting. Was because of, Charles. Gotta punch you in your mouth face. Ha ha ha! That extra thick mouth face, you know what I'm saying?
If the amulet can protect Sarah Hawkins from the influence of the mythos, I must find it.
Hello, statue. Oh, what's in your ear? Haha. Guide me to the artifact concealed by... What? This sketch must guide me to the artifact concealed by concealed Charles Hawkins. This sketch must guide me to the artifact concealed by concealed Charles Hawkins. This sketch must guide me to the artifact concealed by concealed Charles Hawkins. Do they mean artifact concealed by Charles Hawkins? Is that like a typo that they let slide? Concealed by concealed Charles Hawkins. Okay. I don't really know, to be honest. Did the concealed version of Charles Hawkins conceal the artifact? Was he concealed while concealing? That is the true question. And it's questions like this that lead to madness, and then Cthulhu wins, okay, folks? And then Cthulhu fucking wins. This is how Cthulhu wins, folks. If you want to know, it's this. Right here, trying to question concealed being concealed with concealing the concealed that's concealed. Fuck. Okay. That's how he wins. Da-ba-da. Da-ba-da. Put that away. We'll close this because we weren't born in a barn. Weren't born in a barn? Weren't born in a barn. There we go. I turned to the Swedish chef. It's pretty amazing, actually. I shoot a herd, shoot a herd, shoot a herd, shoot a herd, heard it, shoot a herd, shoot a herd. Okay. So I've already evidently seen this. There is books, a skull, and a statue, and a bust. Can I open this? Oh, I can open it now. Oh, this is a child's room. Why is it so goddamn dark? Oh, because it's boarded up. Oh, okay. I must have had a lantern on the last time I was in it. Anything here? I don't remember this room being open, but... Huh. Interesting. Okay. Anything here? Hello? Anything else I can find? We found barbiturates in here, we know that. Okay. Alright, nothing in the bedroom. Hey. Put away the lamp. Thank you. This looks like it's on the floor. With books and a... Okay, so this looks like it's on a floor with a bunch of notes. Let's look around on the floor. Potentially along a wall or something. Books and a wall, skull and statue. Okay. Ah, right here. Found it. What do I get? Really? This whole time...
This is the amulet that Drake was looking for.
He's trying to hide this amulet. And he stores it in a wooden box that's not unlocked. That's being framed by a bookshelf and it's well lit. You really think someone's not gonna go, oh, look, a box. I don't think anything's in that box. Nah, we'll just keep moving on. Okay. Charles was a dumbass, confirmed. I'm just... Charles was a dumbass. Okay. It's a nice little amulet, though. I like that.
The symbol must be here somewhere.
Yeah, hold on.
Look closely.
I'm getting oil.
That is what I'm doing.
There we go. Thank you, Cortez. Sarah's not pleased.
He's getting stronger and more aggressive. If he catches up with you, try blinding him.
You dig?
Now is when matters get complicated. I must breach the barrier to ward off the creature. You have to lure it in front of me, Sarah. Do you understand? Once it goes after you, I need you to guide it towards me.
Hello, hi. I'm a tasty treat. Come on by. Hello, Shambler.
Oh no. Sorry. Release me now. Algernon!
Done! Quickly! Bring him towards me! Well done, Sarah. It's time we were done with this.
Dom, what happened?
Come, you'll want to hear what these two Egypts have to say.
This better be interesting.
Seems like someone decided to grant you your deepest wish.
A mutiny?
Worse, they killed Chief West
What?
and left his body in one of our warehouses.
You're kidding.
They're all yours.
Which one of you is dumb enough to kill a cop and throw him on my doorstep?
We don't know nothing.
The dead body in my warehouse disagrees.
We swear, miss.
Nice
it's
tea.
not us.
Very nice.
I don't have time for this. Spill it.
We've got nothing to do with it.
Oh, now we're playing as cat. Okay. So I can't choose this even though it says it's open. Okay. Can't. Okay. I can't choose any of them. What the hell? What? Hello? Hold on. I literally can't choose anything. Yeah, well, end of game, GG. Okay, I guess we're done. What the hell? It worked this entire time up until now. Hey. Alright, well, we're on chapter 11 at least. We know that much.
Dom,
His control of you.
what
Don't
happened?
resist.
Come, I want to hear what these two Egypt
Exclamation point, Leviathan!
This better be interesting.
Seems like someone decided to grant you your deepest wish.
A mutiny?
Worse, they killed Chief West
What?
and left his body in one of our warehouses.
You're kidding.
They're all yours.
Which one of you is dumb enough to kill a cop and throw him on my doorstep?
We don't know nothing.
The dead body in my warehouse disagrees.
We swear, miss, it's not us.
I don't have time for this. Spill it.
We've got nothing to do with it.
I want to know everything about the
There we go.
corpse over there.
Oh, God. What am I doing?
It says fist. Like, is there something I can do?
Who's there?
Damn it.
So these people have turned. Again, I'm assuming because of the oils used in the lamps and stuff like that. The call is too real.
Thank you. How did you manage to get out of your cell?
Officer Bradley came to free me.
Bradley and his sense of justice. Where is he?
Eloquence master, not quite.
I'm sorry, officer. He's gone.
Did you?
No. When I left, he was still breathing.
Poor guy. I see you're out of bullets. Take these. Sullivan won't need them anymore.
Thanks.
Okay. That was. How do you see that I'm out of bullets? You've been looking at the ground. Okay. Well, we'll go with it. Yeah, voice meter is a really nice system once you figure out what it actually does. You know what I mean? Because it is very interesting to have an audio-digital interface. It's a very different concept. All right, so we know that. So it seems like the three families might have been trying to fight against it, and maybe they finally pulled in. They were pulled into the call.
Who's there?
Oop. Okay. Okay, what kind of culty shit y'all doing here? First, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, though. Okay. Don't mind me. Da 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 da. Close the door. Da 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 da. Okay. This fascinating creature possesses incredible regeneration capabilities or capacities. The consumption of some parts of its body provokes various effects on humans, depending on the part ingested. So different parts that you eat of this thing will give you different abilities. Whenever a part of the creature's body is injured or even removed, completely removed, it is immediately starts healing. After a few hours to a few days, it is nothing, as if nothing happened. So that's why they can keep eating the flesh of the Leviathan and taking its ink and everything. The harpoon Hamilton stuck in the beast's brain probably explains why it can't leave. It seems paralyzed. It is still conscious, but it cannot activate to defend its defense systems or even move. I managed, well, that explains why then they have it. I managed to extract the spinal fluid. The spinal fluid, we'll just go with that. From its brain, and its properties are amazing. I've called it something. In something to the gods, ethereal fluid. Okay, so they've been taking the spinal fluid from the brain and been using it and storing it. Okay. So evidently, as a subject, when you inject that spinal fluid, it actually has mind control properties. So they've been using the spinal fluid to inject into people for for mind control, and then they've been consuming the meat for different strengths and abilities. Because of our long exposure to the beast, our frequent consumption of its flesh makes us part something. Part Leviathan, I guess. The tentacles are the most significant sign that the creature isn't your typical whale. Well, no shit, Sherlock. Reminds us of our first visions of the god. Consuming the flesh gives a certain form of immortality, or at least increases lifespan. It does not bring back youth, however. The flesh is also responsible for the regeneration of the body and can heal almost any kind of injuries, even lost limbs. Which is why Fitzroy has his leg back. Grew his leg back. There you go, in less than a week. The fat, when boiled, makes the oil. It can be used as a typical whale oil. The best, particularly, however, is to allow people to visualize glimpses of this mysterious city in God. Okay, so by having it around them, they can almost visualize this mysterious God and the city. Best efficient with creative people having it consumed while consumed while sleeping also increases the effects. Damn. Some resilient chalk, no shit. That's actually cool that they made it so you could read it, though, and it gives you a breakdown of what's been going on. Because that, again, that actually really helps give you an understanding. Valid sand requirements, so there's that. Unfortunately, I'm not a master at occultism, so I can't say you are lost. Are you crazy?
I have seen things. Strange and horrifying, but always true.
Will you trust my words?
Yes.
One man only prepared by the trials and revelations, holds the power to change the world. Because I saw you in the dreams I share with my God. I recognize you for what you are, a truth seeker. One of the rare humans who is able to perceive fragments of his mind.
Yes, yes.
I feel the truth in your words.
Because it was written. Or, as I like to see it, painted on the canvas of fate.
Pierce, help me!
That was awkward. Wasn't Cat a truth seeker too? Potentially. perform the counter ritual, perform the ritual, it's over. So it's interesting. There were certain choices being made that would say, oh, this would impact your destiny, right? Even though people kept saying, Leviathan and those around kept saying, oh, well, you can't control your destiny, right? It's already written. So that's an interesting choice by the game developers, what they're trying to say there. I mean, I feel like in some ways I do sort of feel like nothing mattered throughout the entire game up until the very end. I mean, that's my assumption. Again, maybe it could be vastly different. But my assumption it just feels like nothing really mattered anyway up until the very end, deciding whether to do the ritual or not. I mean, doing the ritual means ideally summoning Cthulhu and, oh, the Cthulhu fans! Woo! Lots of French. Here we go. So there is the like, I guess, summoning Cthulhu, or not summoning Cthulhu. But the thing is, at the end, your eyes turn black, so you don't know if you're dead, if something else was summoned. He was summoned anyway from the counter. Like, you know, it's at that cliffhanger. Oh, here we go. There's more.
We doubled the dosage, as you asked us to, Doctor.
Good, thank you.
Fuller's still alive? So we got the achievement of Fight Destiny. So we fought against Destiny. It was telling us we had to sacrifice ourselves to summon this god. And really it was a decision between... In the end, it seems like it was a decision between summoning Cthulhu and basically destroying all of mankind. Or it was... I guess, in a way, sacrificing yourself for all of mankind. So everyone else lives, and none's the wiser of what happened, but then you're technically insane and locked up for the rest of your life, basically. So that's interesting. I am going to look up, actually, real quick. I'm not going to give it away unless people want to know, but I'm curious on... the endings here. Ah, okay, so evidently... Just replay the game 3 or 4 more times. That's right. I mean, it seems like there are 3 endings, potentially. Let me see here. I'm just rolling through here. I don't see anything yet. Let's see. Achievements for particular. There's a lot of different achievements. Huh, interesting. I mean, if folks want to know the 3 endings, I can say it, or otherwise I won't spoil it. I'm just like reading through this, I'm like, interesting. And honestly, I will say, by looking at this, I'm probably pretty right in my assumption of basically nothing matters on the choices you make up until the very end. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. What did I think of the game? So I would say that with this game, I mean, I love the sounds when they work. I do love the sounds when they work. There are those times where they get really quiet, or sometimes they get really, really loud. So really at that point, it's just the volume of the sounds that are inconsistent. But the sounds are rich. They keep you on edge. They did a very good job of playing with that to heighten the experience, and they did it very well. Like, they knew what they were doing, which was really nice. Visually, the graphics are pretty nice to a point. The problem with the graphics that I have is the fact that, well, I guess let's separate graphics, the artwork from the animation. The artwork is gorgeous, you know, like the setting is very rich. There's lots of details, lots of little things to see, like we saw on the chalkboard, breaking down Leviathan. You could read it and break it down. Those little things are great. Being able to explore. Some of the puzzles were pretty nice. But I think the animations were a bit messed up, to be honest. And maybe it's just this version because this was released to the press and to, you know, streamers and stuff. I don't know. I can't say whether this is in the file or not, but there was weird things going on with women's dresses spazzing out, certain body parts where it looked like there was a conflict of some sort with the, like the women's hands, like some sort of conflict with the coding. And so it was like one piece of code was saying, oh, this is happening. Another piece of code was like, no, this is happening. And so you kept getting this struggle where things would move and then not move, then move, or some kind of break in the coding or something. So that was kind of rough. Some of the visuals of the people, like their faces, looked rough as well. You know, some women looked very glossy and almost plastic-like. Other times that shine or weird kind of sheen wasn't there. It's hands. No, it's thighs. It's the hands. No, it's the, yeah. Like thighs, knees, dresses were kind of bouncing around randomly. When you can shoot a gun, it was just weird that it was this kind of auto-aim thing. I guess they're kind of going with the theme of, like, don't worry, you know, like, choice or something. I don't know. Like, you really have no choice in the end. It was weird. I didn't really like the gun thing per se, and the one-hit kill, and it looked like it hits them in the hip and they're dead. Like, it was just weird. Some of the things toward the end and some of the later chapters from, like, chapter 10 or 11 to 14... some of the things just felt like it was too long. Like, honestly, like, everything kept flowing well, and then all of a sudden we got to later chapters, and it just felt like they were trying to expand it to make it longer in some ways. And maybe it wasn't. I could be completely wrong, but that's how it felt as a player. And in the end, that's actually vital to understand that, right? Because it's not about the developer and, like, well, what their goal was. It's what comes across, just like with an actor. You know, you could be trying to portray a villain, but if people are laughing at you, not taking you seriously, then it doesn't matter what you're playing, right? It doesn't matter how you're playing it matters how the audience perceives it. And to me, it just perceived like it started to drag on toward the end there because they had these kind of fetch quests and things like that that just felt weird and awkward and not really needed. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, I really liked some of the puzzles and stuff, especially in the asylum. I thought that was really well done, trying to unlock different parts and, you know, worry about your oil and your lantern and stuff like that. I liked the cinematics that were there whenever it got out of the game and into the cinematics. I thought the cinematics were well done, honestly. The looks on his face over time as he gets rid of, or as he kind of starts losing his mind or his sanity, you know, you start seeing the changes physically and stuff. Like, all that was really well done, but then you jump into the game and there is a bit of a difference there, where it wasn't just as polished. Now, that's usually going to be the case a lot of times, especially if you're an independent developer, right? There's only so much money you have and so much time and effort. It still looks good, don't get me wrong, but there was a vast difference that kind of threw you off sometimes. And, you know, especially when they tried to, what do I want to say? I guess as, it's hard to describe, like, as they switched from cinematic to, like, in-game cinematic, where it was, like, the game, but showing the cinematics, it was rough. Like, the movements felt more like a camera, or, like, when people moved, it felt, like, very not natural. Like when you get to the harbor master and you're talking with him and you move, the camera moves, right? Your head moves to show like, okay, this is where the harbor master is. This is where the bar is. This is where this is. It was too smooth. It didn't feel like a head was moving, which it felt really weird because the rest of the movement, when you had control of the character, felt so damn good. Like, you know, when you moved, there was a little bit of a shake, right? And the sound that you could hear correlated with that very well. When you ran, again, the shake also kind of, you know, altered a bit too, which felt really good. When you kneeled and stood back up, that felt really good. That was one of the best, I guess, like visual physical indicators I've ever seen in a game to actually nail down that sort of movement for a person. I thought it was amazing what they did there. I know it's like one of the little things. Oh, I love it when the main character kneels and then pops back up. But at the same time, it still was really well done. So, you know, there is that aspect as well. But there are other aspects too where it didn't feel right when the camera took control and it was just too smooth of movement. Or like when we're in the cave, walking through the tunnel, and the Charles Hawkins comes up to us, the ghostly figure, and just kind of comes up to us, and it's almost like he's gliding. He's not really moving naturally. Now, maybe that's the effect, but I mean, I don't know. For me, it just felt weird. I don't think it was an effect, honestly, because of how it moved. So certain movement things did kind of negatively impact me in that sense. You know, was it fun? Yes. Was it engaging, and did it make me, you know, really hone in onto the world and what was happening? Yes. Were the jump scares good? Yes. Did they do it too much? I don't think so. I think if they kept going on, they probably would have done it too much. It was getting toward the end there where I was like, I had that one jump scare where the zombie drops down, or whatever, the person drops down in the barn. And I was like, okay, if another one happens, I swear to God. But it didn't. It didn't. And that was fine. So it's like they thought that through and tried to avoid what seemed to be too many cliches, too much kind of corny elements being put into there. Because people get tired of jump scares after a while. You start seeing the pattern. So, I mean, overall, was this a fun game? Yeah. Am I glad I played it? Yes. Overall rating. Again, animations were wonky, lighting was great, the details of individual items was on point, the art team did a great job. The voiceover was pretty solid, honestly. The voiceover was pretty solid. The scripting was okay. Again, it's hard to tell because this is 1920s, so people speak differently. So, you know, whether that is some issues with the script or if it was just the time, the era, you know, and how people spoke. I mean, overall, I've seen reviews of 7 out of 10. I've seen reviews of 8 out of 10. I mean, because of the animations, and that's the big thing, I would say I would personally give it probably a 7 out of 10. If the animations were fixed up and if I didn't have the bugs where you can't interact with the menu and you have to literally leave the game and close it down and restart it just to get it to work, which means you're pulling me out of the story and then I have to force myself to jump back into it. I mean, that kind of ruined it for me in some respects. Not entirely, but, you know, the overall flow. I couldn't keep that buildup of energy going because of that. And so, you know, if that was fixed, if some of the other elements were fixed, like the animations, I probably would give it an 8 out of 10, to be honest. I mean, seriously, I probably would. A lot of reviews do mention the weird visual bugs and janky animations, so I don't think it was your version. Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's a bit unfortunate. And it's hard to say. Either maybe they were rushed toward the end there to get it released, especially for Halloween, which many games are now rushed nowadays at certain points, or if they just didn't have the manpower, there was a change of hands, a third party had come in for some elements of the game and it didn't work out. Hard to say. But yeah, if other reviews are saying it, then that's unfortunate. It's secretly a Telltale game. That reminds me to stream Telltale games of Game of Thrones. There you go. A fan hides under table, are you? You can hide in other places too. You mean the intended segments where Leviathan took control of your character? Yeah, that was annoying too. You can't fight your destiny. Fuck you, I'm going to. And then it's like, nope, you're gonna do it anyway. Like, okay. Now, the characters coming back to life, by the way, some die and they come back. That actually does make sense, right? Because we read about the powers of Leviathan and how it can heal and bring people back and the whole sense of life. So having Fuller there is not anything surprising at the end, or any other elements where people kind of come back and you think they're dead. It's like, well, the Leviathan, you know, the what was it, the fluids of it or something? Not the oils. It was the meat, though. It was the meat. The meat brought them back. So, I mean, they've done a good job of the stuff that you feel is like absurd or can never be explained. They actually do kind of explain it, even if they just touch on it lightly or show certain visuals, or you have to read certain documents and come across those documents in order to understand it. But it's there. Like, a lot of it is there. And so, you know, you just have to take the time and not rush through it. This is not a game where you rush through it. It's not a game where you run through. It's not Call of Duty. Hell no. Do I wish you could interact with more stuff? That'd be nice. Would I love to play, like, maybe some kind of larger scale version of this game? Maybe a little bit more open world in a sense? That would be badass. I'm not even joking. If they did a Lovecraftian game based on this type of world, I would probably play the shit out of it. I mean, a much bigger game, mind you. Like, a much bigger version. I don't know if they could do an MMO. That'd be kind of weird. In some respects, but I would definitely fall into it. It's just something, even though it's not new, it's fresh. You know what I mean? I mean, so many things have been played over and over again that's based on Lord of the Rings or based on this mythology or that mythology, that having something like this is actually really nice and really refreshing, at least for me. And having that kind of thriller, dark energy, supernatural aspect to it is fucking great. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it really is a cool concept, and it really is nice to have a game like this in this world. It's just something that's absolutely needed, especially with all the BRs. And don't you dare even frickin' say a BR Call of Cthulhu, because hell no. Hell no. You just run around like, I'm Leviathan, I'm Cthulhu, hey! Battle of the Gods. Oh my god. You drop onto the island, everyone dies because the world ends. Ooh. No, but it is. Here we go. It's all the cult members fighting to be the sacrifice. Which is ironic, because then they're all dead anyway. It doesn't fucking matter. It looks like the fans of Lovecraft and Cthulhu loved this game and forgave its coding quirks, but the rest were indie game devs all right. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not trying to judge an indie dev. I love indie devs. Indie devs, man, they put together such good shit a lot of times. It's amazing. I mean, there's some bad stuff do you search through Steam, but I mean, they can put together such good work. And I do really appreciate this game. I really do, honestly. I didn't know if I was going to like it or not. Do I feel like I like it as much as I did yesterday? Not as much once we got toward the end, in a way. My hype was more like an 8, and then it went down to a 7 the more and more we stretched it out tonight. But yeah, now the game itself, I wasn't actually going to talk about this, but I will talk about it. So let's see here, the game, Call of Cthulhu. So Call of Cthulhu. This game right now has mostly positive reviews on Steam. It's, again, the publisher Focus Home Interactive, which has done a lot of work, especially for, what was the most recent one? The Battle Royale that's being developed by the folks behind DayZ. Vigor, I think, is Focus Home, if I remember. No, Fear the Wolves. Fear the Wolves, that's right. Fear the Wolves by the people who did Stalker. Focus Home is the publisher for them as well. Yeah, it looks like most reviews recommended, not recommended, not recommended, wait for it to be on sale. I could see that. Honestly, so this is my thing. Would I spend $44.99 for this game? No. I wouldn't. I just wouldn't. And it's not a knock on the devs at all, and their hard work and the time they've put into this and the energy. I wouldn't. You know, a $60 game, a full release game, even if it's multiplayer. I mean, multiplayer can give you thousands of hours of gameplay. People play 7 Days to Die, multiplayer survival horde-based building game, and there's literally people with like over 2,000 hours in the game. Guess how much they paid for that? Early access, $19.99. There are other games though, full release, not early access, $60, and they put in 100 hours, 60 hours even. So you could think of it as $1 per hour, 120 hours depending on the missions and stuff like that. This game, it literally took me around 13 hours, 12, 13 hours. Really trying to find everything too. So if we're looking at $1 per hour, I mean, you would say what, $12, $15? Honestly, I would sell this if I was a developer / publisher. Mostly it's the publisher, right? And it's probably the publisher who's hiking up the price, especially because it's around Halloween. It's got the Cthulhu name to it. I mean, honestly, yes, the cinematics are gorgeous, but we're not buying a film. You know, we're buying a game. We're buying an experience. This definitely gives you an experience. But honestly, I would pay like anywhere between $19.99 and $24.99. Now, does that mean that pays for the game itself? I mean, probably not, right? There's plenty of debate of people going around saying, hey, $60 is not enough anymore. You know, they kept to the $60 price point. It's been like that for like a decade. But, you know, they're afraid of charging more, right? But they're saying, well, as much time goes into the game, the amount of hours of labor, the amount of elements put into it. You think about the marketing that goes into it. You think about the cost of any software or devices being used that had to be bought or rented or purchased annually or monthly for the development of this game. Yeah, I mean, that all adds up. So there's a lot of people saying that even $60 is too much. The licensing fee, exactly right. Like, it's expensive as shit. And the rights they had to pay for, because I'm sure someone owns the Lovecraft estate, right? Someone owns this stuff. I don't know who. But they had to pay for that. You know, so all of that stuff put together, you know, getting it out, distributed onto, you know, the platform through Steam and everything else. So I get, like, you know, it's expensive. It really, really is. And so we could debate this for hours to, like, the sense of $60, you know, for a full-blown game. But You know, that's why most people nowadays will do like additional packages, right? Like, oh, get the gold package or the silver package, and they'll offer a little bit more value, but hopefully they hope that you go for that because that's really what's going to help pay the bills and keep the lights on. If they don't put in loot chests and skins and all this other stuff, right? But I don't see myself, I couldn't see myself paying $44.99 for this game. And if I played this game at $44.99, if I did buy it, I would be upset. I would be frustrated. I would be mostly frustrated at the bugs, the animation. I would look at this and go, really? I spent almost $50, $10 more. I could have gotten a fully polished game for 60 hours of entertainment. Now, I'm not saying you can't replay this game and do different choices. You can. And you can see different, the different voiceover lines being said and maybe some little changes in the scenes. But like I just said, I just looked at the endings, and they're really not all that different. You know, it's just really the outcome of Edward at the end. That's about it. So, you know, if there's not much difference to that, and I played it, I mean, again, if I played it for 12 hours, so if I did this game again, I would probably play it faster, right? Perchance, because I already kind of know what's going on. So, with that being said, let's just say hypothetically it took me another 10 hours after that to go through it again. Okay, well, that's 22 hours. Now another 10 hours. All right, that's 32 hours. That's still not 60 to 120 hours of gameplay. And that's me redoing the game again. Now you could also, and the other thing too is you could always go back to past checkpoints if you saved it that way. You could probably always go back to, I would imagine, previous checkpoints and just play through that part again and not even have to go through the rest of it. It's your choice. But yeah, I would get frustrated with $44.99, to be honest. I think the art style is great and what they've shown is great here. I mean, this looks gorgeous. And there are elements that do look gorgeous, but there are elements too that look rough, that don't look quite finished, quite polished. And to me, that's not even a 44 some odd dollar game. Do I greatly appreciate it? Yes. Do I think people should buy this game? Yes. Was I engaged? Yes. Do I think it should be half the price it is right now on Steam? Yes. So, that's my thoughts.